What are we doing tonight? The same thing we do every single live stream. That's right, we're going to take over the world. That's right, I am the man you may know as Z from Our Reviews Who Kill You, the party time podcast that brings you news, reviews, and all that other good jazz. I see Doc is out there. What is wrong with our music? It is perfectly amazing. That's right, it is time. It's a party because it's a noob. This is a noob free zone. You just get a full-on Z experience. That's right. It's going to be amazing. Oh, please, folks. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Because, you know, Noob decided to take a trip. And we don't know if he's coming back. He might not make it. He went to the Bermuda Triangle and may never actually come back from it. So that's right, folks. You got a full dose of Z going on, and it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be good stuff. We have a great, amazing, fantastic episode for you. We got a lot of ground to cover. So let me tell you what's going on with tonight's show. Oh, by the way, before we even get started, I wanted to throw out a thanks. Did Noob take a trip, or was he deported? He is. Don't you remember last week we showed you the cruise he was taking? He was taking a very special cruise with some very special friends of his. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was an intense shot of Jägermeister. That is the 410th shot of Jägermeister I've ever done in my entire life, because we've done 410 of these amazing episodes, and we're 2 million views. If you had told me back at the beginning of this we would have broken 2 million views, I don't know that I would have ever agreed that would have happened. But thanks to you guys, thanks to Doc, Ron, Weiser, all the other amazing people out there, we couldn't have done it without you guys. And there is a new feature. You can hype up our videos. So if you get the chance while you're watching them, I think it's a mobile-only option. You can hype them. Since we're on the smaller side of creators, we get some extra bonus booyah points. So do it up, do it right. Make us feel good, because you'll feel good about hyping us up. So 2 million views. We're in control. We're cruising. I got some fun stuff to go over. Let's look at what's on today's show. It looks like Dexter prequel got canceled, renewed, then canceled. Amanda Bynes gets a little thick, if you know what I'm saying. Sophie Turner doesn't like us anymore. You know that girl from Game of Thrones that we never really liked? Well, she doesn't like us either. Kumail Nanjiani is still waiting for his shot at stardom. He's waiting to finish up those 6 other Marvel films. Blossom, a show I never watched, was supposed to get a reboot, but apparently not. That is over and done with. Katee Sackhoff forgets how to act. I forget how to watch her act because I haven't seen her in 3 years in anything. Will Smith generates his own crowds. He uses some special technology for that. And we've got Wednesday not doing so hot, and I will explain why. Cracker Barrel gets cracked out and caves, goes back to its normally scheduled programming of crackers and barrels. Cobra Kai is coming back, but in disguise. Perhaps as Knight Rider, you know, Michael Knight. It's going to be good stuff. Good stuff. Get outrageous. We're going to get outrageous for all you space fanatics out there. There's a mysterious object in our solar system, and I've got some facts to tell you about it. Facts, people. We're going to be clapping dim cheeks soon enough. And a 13-year-old girl has a surprise for her birthday, but it's not what she thought it would be. And she's not American. We're going to get Are You In or Out on Blue Eye Samurai. I spelled it Blue Eyed Samurai, but I was corrected. It is Blue Eye Samurai. And then for the reviews, we're going to do Stands, a documentary about your friend and my friend, Eminem friend. And then we're going to do a new movie, Eddie Murphy and his friend Beehole Eyes, Pete Davidson. They did a movie together, and wow, only on Amazon. I mean, it feels like a Netflix movie, but it could distinctly be an Amazon movie. All that and more, folks. It's going to be joyous. It's going to be wonderful. And I realize that this is a Labor Day weekend stream, but guess what? We're here. We're here to relax, kick back, party with you. If you get a chance to listen to us over the weekend, especially if you're an audio listener on iTunes or if you're just catching us on YouTube or Rumble, let's get the libations, baby. This is a good weekend. It's a real good weekend for everybody. I think most of us get a little bit of time off. Ron Cold, here's to you. I hope you have some trees ready for this weekend. Hopefully I can find some trees myself. I can't tell the forest through the trees, but I know that if I light them up, they'll guide my way to a great long weekend. So it's good to see you fellers out there. I hope you're all relaxing. As we kick back, we're going to get into it. We're going to rock the party. We're going to tell some jokes. And we're going to find out some funny things. We're going to talk about... we're going to Dexter first. You know, that show that keeps coming back over and over and over again, yet no one knows how to make it work. Because even the first time, I wasn't sure how to make it work. Because I watched like the first 4 seasons of Dexter, and then I had to get off the train because I said to myself, there are way too many serial killers in Miami for me to believe this anymore. I just don't believe it. I don't believe the hype. But they keep trying to make it happen. Dexter Original Sin gets canceled after it was renewed for a second season. It's very confusing. I suspected there was trouble with this. Is it on Paramount Plus? I believe it was on Paramount. Yes, it was on Paramount Plus. And when I would look at the charts for Paramount Plus, I noticed that Dexter Original Sin really wasn't charting. I thought the casting was really good. I didn't like Christian Slater as a... What do you call? As Dexter's dad. I didn't really think that was that good. But other than that, I mean, I like Christian Slater, but I didn't like that they used a bunch of CGI on his face to de-age him, and it wasn't that great. What are you, going to your billionaire island, Doc? Why don't you invite all of us? Let us know how to get there. It's like 344 Billionaire Drive that you live on. So what we do is we look at what Dexter did, and they canceled it because they want to put the writer's room to go to Dexter Resurrection Season 2, because I think the biggest problem is there's nobody really famous in this. They picked a guy who really could do Dexter. And prequels, man. I don't know if you're fed up with prequels, but I'm pretty fed up with prequels. Like this Alien Earth show that I'm watching is a prequel. We already know what happens. You don't have to show us before it happened. I mean, unless it's something like crazy in the past that's completely irrelevant to the story in the same universe because I like the universe, I just don't need to hear about it. I just don't. There's not that much going on. By the way, Doc wants to let everybody know that he works for the Diddy Oil executives. He works for Diddy.com, and they're pumping oil right out of the ground and using it for whatever Doc wants to use that oil for. He's an oil tycoon, but it's that baby oil tycoon. But as far as Dexter's concerned, the Dexter New Blood was good enough to get Michael C. Hall, who obviously is the eponymous name Dexter. But when the First Blood came out, he's only the internal monologue. And I guess it just wasn't able to hold its viewership. So I guess the merger hurt it too. They had to pay that big time South Park money. They had to come up with $1.3 billion from somewhere, and it wasn't going to come from Dexter. Original Sin had to be sacrificed on the altar of South Park. So that will give Dexter a new look. Right under Orcu Island is where all them oil reserves. Drill, baby, drill. It's baby oil drilling on Orcu Island. We got all that baby oil that you need. But we're going to talk about where are we going? We're going to... I hate to say we keep picking on this girl, but she's kind of a punching bag that you just can't avoid. It's like this chick got hit in the face with a rock, and she used to be hot. She used to be hot. And now she's like, look at my new lip injections. What is this? Why? These are the eyes of a dead soul. If you want to see a human being who's had their soul harvested from their body, just look at this picture of Amanda Bynes. I do not understand. She's gone full septum nose theory. What is it? Septum ring theory? She's gone full septum ring theory. She's got it. I thought she got rid of that tattoo hard on her face. And now she got lip injections like bee stings. What happened to this girl? I don't understand. I can't wear tooth gems because I have veneers. They don't stick on my teeth. So this is my way of having tooth gems. Who gives this woman money? Why does she have money to do this to herself? I've never seen anything like it. She's going on Ozempic. So excited. I'm 173 pounds now. So I hope I get down to 130, which would be awesome. Wow. Wow. Wee woo wow. Wow. I don't even know. Never travel to California. If you do, that's what you look like. That's right, Ron. Ron. That's nailing it, dude. That deserves to be posted up here. Don't go to California, folks. This is what you could end up looking like. It's distinctly possible. Holy cow. She's a multi-millionaire, A-list celebrity, just gone. Dead eyes, dead soul. Poor girl. And they say in comedy, you never punch down, you always punch up. Well, guess what? I'm homeless and she's a millionaire, so I get to punch up. She can afford lip filler. I can't even get that BBL that I've been looking for. So anyway, that's all I have for her. Speaking of another insufferable chick, I was going to say one word, and I changed my mind because this is a wholesome show. This is a show for the children's. This is for the children's, you know. Not when Noob Noob's on, because that's full racism on display. This is about Sophie Turner, the Game of Thrones star, never wants to live in the U.S. again. Why did you marry an American then? America is the greatest country in the world. Reload to the UK. UK needs us to save them again. We saved them once in World War II. They're being invaded again, apparently. We're going to need to save them again. We got to go in there. Liberate all of the United Kingdom. Sophie Turner, though, we don't liberate her. She's that chick. Who knows she was 29? And she was married to Joe Jonas for 4 years. She's restarting her life across the pond so she can party. She loves to party. And she's a mom to Willa 5 and Delphine 3. She said something really funny, like, I need to be closer to home so that I can be near my family so they can watch my children's. Then, if they can watch her children, she could go out and slink around. I don't understand. How can you have a marriage that it says irretrievably broken, right? That's what the court said, that their wedding was irretrievably broken. They had a Vegas wedding, by the way. Those don't last, just like ones in certain parts of the Carolinas. Those weddings don't last either. After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage, even though it was irretrievably broken. Well, part of it is because she's taller than you, Mr. Jonas. That doesn't work. Oh, she's a cheater. Is that true, Doc? I know she's a huh. I didn't know she was I mean, I guess, does that go hand in hand? Cheetah and huh? I think it does. Let's give Doc a round of applause for that. I have new sounds I can play with. I got new sounds. Maybe I'll find some more of them. I don't know if I have good ones. And maybe if Doc says something bad, he'll get something else. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to overuse them, I promise. When I get a new toy, I tend to like to overuse them. You know who would really like a new toy, though? Kumail Nanjiani. I love saying this guy's name. And he is one of my favorite characters from Adventure Time, The Adventures of Finn and Jake. And he plays Prismo. Doc says they're divorced because they're because she cheated. Why are you throwing around language like that, Doc? Just for that, you do get new sounds. It's so stupid. I'm gonna do it to Noob Noob though. I'm gonna make sure that I use these on Noob Noob. He won't even know what's hitting him. He'll just be like, "What was that?" And then it'll just make noises like "Rah, rah, 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 rah." So Kumail Nanjiani thought his life was set. He thought that he had a paycheck for like the next 10 years. And did I say he was Prismo from Adventure Time? I love his voice. It's so good. But he was also like a weird Jedi friend in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which was also strange. And he also got super jacked for the Eternals. I hope it was worth it, my friend. But he signed on for 6 Marvel movies. You know what? I need an audio drop that says Nancy is what I need. I need a Nancy audio drop. That should be the sound every time he speaks. Hey, if he comes back alive, that is. He may not come back alive. And guess what? You guys are going to get several Noob vacations. They're out there. They're going to happen. I promise you. We're going to have wedding pictures. And it's going to be something special. As he's not on the show. Doing other things. He signed on for 6 movies. I hope they paid him a ton of money. You know what? He still made that money. He made that paper. I think if you sign for 6 movies, they still give you... There's got to be like a signing bonus, right? And he's like, I was in this... He says, he talked to his friends and he goes, I talked about how I was in this big movie. It came out right after COVID. So I had a year and a half at home to just be like, oh, when this thing comes out... But then it came out and got really bad reviews and didn't do that well and shattered me too much. I mean, it wasn't his fault, but bro, you were shooting off laser beams from your fingers like pew, 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 pew. Like you had to know that wasn't going to be that cool. He goes, oh, this is going to be my job for the next 10 years. I signed up for 6 movies. I signed up for a video game. I signed up for a theme park ride. Who thought there was going to be an Eternals theme park ride? Who's going to ride the Eternals? No one. No one's going to do that. When have I ever taken a vacation, Doc? It's after the past like 4 years of doing this show, if not longer. But when have I ever taken a vacation? You guys get a show no matter what. You always get shows. We're always there for you. We are we're more reliable than presidents. And we need to get paid with dead presidents. So do us a favor. Sign up for the channel. You get exclusive videos. We have an exclusive video that I forgot to release, which is about Superman. So you're going to need to check that out. We do a reaction to the pitch meeting of Superman. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Superman, the new one. Because I got tricked into doing a pitch meeting about Superman, the one, the Zack Snyder one. And this was the one that, it's James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn. So anyway, Eternals released in 2021 and was the worst reviewed Marvel Cinematic Universal entry up to that point. It grossed $402 million globally. It's funny, I had a couple of friends who said to me that they liked, we're all hanging out under the bridge, just shooting it, and just chilling, hanging out. And they're like, I like the Eternals movie. I said, no, you didn't. There's no way you like the Eternals movie. Tell me who the villain of the Eternals movie was. And they were like, I said, how many Eternals were there? And they're like, yeah, that's no one liked the Eternals. Ron's been on 5 vacations this year. That's amazing. I remember you telling me about a couple of them. And then Doc's life is a vacation. When you're a oil tycoon like Doc is, life is your oyster, and we're just living in Doc's world. Speaking of things that didn't go the way they thought they would, I don't know how to say this chick's name. Mayim Bialik. I think she was on some show that I never watched either, The Big Bang Theory. I think so. I don't have any proof of that. She reveals that the Blossom reboot is dead and Disney got this one wrong. You trust that satanic mouse to do you right? Never going to do you right. It's always going to do you wrong. You can't trust Disney. They still have Kathleen Kennedy working for them. She's running Star Wars, and she's running it right into the ground. There ain't nothing anyone can do with Star Wars because Kathleen Kennedy jammed it into the ground. She's a 49-year-old actress. And if you remember anything about Blossom, she played Blossom Ruby Russo. It aired from 1991 to 1995. Oh, and then she was in The Big Bang Theory. They wrote a beautiful script. But then she started doing her own show called Call Me Kat, which also got canceled because it had cats in it that were not cute cats. They needed cuter cats, and they did not get cute cats. And then she was co-hosting Jeopardy until she botched that one up. So, yeah, you should have dressed hotter. If you were the hot host of Jeopardy, you would have been able to keep that going for years. No. I'm not gonna justify that post, Doc. You're real close to getting another boo. So she's just mad. It's funny. I think she does a podcast now, and she actually interviewed somebody I really like. Anthony Green from the band Circus Survive. You may know him as the lead singer of Seosin. And that was it was a downer interview, but I like to see Anthony Green out there and doing things productive. He's a really talented guy. Local homie of mine. Just like that Bam Margera, local homie of mine. Getting down in the D-Town. But Blossom is dead, and no one cares. I really don't care. 1992 episode of Blossom? Like, who the heck wants to watch Blossom? Oh my God. Who wants to watch this? No one. The role I want to play more than any other. But the reboot, pay for it yourself. You're a millionaire. Make your own Blossom. Put it on YouTube. YouTube's amazing. You'd be surprised what garbage gets put on YouTube. What absolutely racist, nonsensical podcasts get put on YouTube all the time. What podcasts that say outrageous things on a regular basis that have gotten to 410 episodes. You'd be shocked at the things they put out there that are completely not AI. Hey, we push the boundaries of what's allowed on the airs, folks. That's what we do here. We're here to win it. We're in it to win it. You can't stop us. We don't care what anybody says. We get demonetized. Do you know how many times we get demonetized? It's outrageous. It's outrageous. And I try to rein it in, but it never ever happens. We just keep getting in trouble. So let's move on to another chick who's dropping them balls. It's Katee Sackhoff. She dropped her sack It just broke me. Katee Sackhoff explains why she lost all of her confidence after working on The Mandalorian, talking about Disney crushing people's dreams and their souls. We just went from Blossom losing her dream job to Katee Sackhoff losing the ability to act. Katee Jackoff. Jackoff her. Yes, Katee Sackhoff, certainly well-known actor, thanks to Battlestar Galactica, where she played... That's where it all started, man. By the way, when did that show air, Battlestar Galactica? I don't know when it came out, but that's when they started swapping people. She was Starbuck, and Starbuck was a dude in the original show, and they ended up having a chick end up being Starbuck, which is ridiculous. So I guess she was good because people really like Battlestar Galactica. I was too young to watch Battlestar Galactica. She was also in Longmire, Riddick, and 24. And she played Bo-Katan in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. But then when she had to play her in live action, she just fell to pieces. She just didn't know what to do anymore. It's crazy. This chick played this character numerous times. And then when she gets in live action, and I mean, maybe I'm not going to agree with her, but this kind of sucked. She's just like, I don't know what this character is. I don't know what she's doing. I can't understand her. I don't know. She goes, Bo-Katan is nowhere near who I am as a human being. Her life, what she wants, I didn't understand her. Guess what? We didn't understand her either, because that's not good writing. It just wasn't. It was not a good show. Everybody knows it. And I don't blame her whatsoever. She's perfectly fine. But when they have her sitting there like mansplaining to the Mandalorian, to Pedro Pascal, she's like sitting on this like throne with her legs spread, mansplaining to him. Like, it doesn't work when a chick mansplains things to people. It just doesn't have the same, she doesn't have the same dangly bits, so it's not going to help you out. So now she's like, I don't know how to act anymore. It sucks. She goes, it broke me. It just broke me where I started doubting everything about myself. I'm not a strong auditioner on tape, and I was having to put myself on tape. I wasn't booking anything for 3 years. I basically didn't work. I broke down. I was crying one day. And I guess it's her manager, and he's like, you're going to be fine. You always work. You know what? Maybe she'd have a job in the WNBA. I feel like that's a place where losers go. Oh, but she's going to get paid to be in Mandalorian and Grogu. So I don't think anybody really wants to see that, but she's going to get paid to watch it or be in it. Maybe she'll find her inner Katee Sackhoff, her inner Bo-Katan in that one. I just feel like this episode, I usually don't theme episodes, but this sure seems like it had a theme. We're talking about Hollywood losers quite a bit. You know, if I run through it, Amanda Bynes, Hollywood loser. Sophia Turner, Hollywood loser. She ain't acted in anything relevant. Kumail Nanjiani, who I like, Hollywood loser. Mayim Bialik, Hollywood loser. Katee Sackhoff, Hollywood loser. Did I mention Amanda Bynes? Did I forget to This is just sad. This makes me sad. Because now we have to talk about Will Smith and how he's a Hollywood loser. Will Smith just getting whomped on by the whole world. I don't know what happened to him. He used to be king. He was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then he fell off. He's just gotten to a point where he's just not even relevant. It's very sad. It's very sad. But apparently he's been using AI to fake concert footage crowd footage. Yes. Fake concert crowds. I don't have a ton of proof of this one, but I did see some breakdowns where the faces look real weird. But I'm going to give you one picture that should sell it for you. Because I can't play his music because I'll get busted for that. Love you, Fresh Prince. I don't even think that the AI forgot how to spell Prince right. Okay, here's the picture. Let me see if I can get a big one of it. All right. I can blow this up. Okay. What I would like you to look at, if you can see this, looks like this. Just show ain't AI. AI is not smart enough. AI is stupid. Why would AI drink this much? AI would be like, drinking's bad for you. But if you look at this woman in the white outfit, it says "Love You, Fresh Prince" on a banner. And then below it, it has this guy in a white shirt and this girl in a white outfit next to each other. And she's got like her mouth agape. And she's shocked at something. If you look really closely, the two of them, their outfits are connected. There's no separation between their two outfits, which is suspiciously an AI mistake. Where AI, it just doesn't look real. Here's another one that's kind of funny. This guy's crotch in the pink shorts. He has a man kind of hanging out by his crotch. So it's like AI is kind of a quitter. AI just gives up sometimes. It starts to make this image that you could fall for, and then on the fringes it just gives up. It surrenders and goes, this is too much work. AI is like a lazy worker. You know, if you were a communist, you'd have to put him in the gulag. So Will Smith has been real sus. He's got this European tour going, and they're saying they're really large crowds. And the clips are focused on the fans and the signs they're displaying about how much they love Will Smith and how they've helped him survive cancer. But a lot of the faces are distorted and just don't look correct. There's a lot of weirdness going on. And some people are trying to blame like Instagram and things like that. I don't know. I don't believe any of it. I do think, though, Will Smith's got some weird thing. If you guys remember, I think we reacted to it in a video, which I will not link above, about AI. It was back when it was really viral. Will Smith eating spaghetti. I'm sure you guys remember that. So Will Smith is eating spaghetti. And Will Smith caught on to this. And then every, couple months, he posts a new video of Will Smith eating spaghetti to get the AI, the AI keeps showing the progression of AI getting better and better and better at it, to the point where there is apparently a really good video of Will Smith eating spaghetti that Will Smith created himself. That is, it doesn't pass the uncanny valley test, which is, to the human eye, does this look real test? But what it does, it looks real authentic, to the point where I think someone made a trailer of him doing I Am Legend 2 with Michael B. Jordan. So, and that looks pretty good. So, I don't know. Whatever. I just feel bad for Will Smith at this point. His career's kind of gone a lot downhill. The guy went from winning an Academy Award to slapping Chris Rock in the face because his wife cucked him. And now he's just spiraling out of control. His children are spiraling out of control. It's just a sad story. So again, a Hollywood loser. And it makes me sad because I have to watch it unfold and report on it to you guys. So, not to bring you down this weekend, but guess what? Your life is better than their lives because you're winning. Right now, I know it. You're winning. You don't live under a bridge like I do. We're orcs and trolls. That's where we live. You don't live under a bridge. You live in a nice, comfy apartment, house, mansion in Doc's case. Maybe you live on a super yacht because he's a oil magnate. Any of those places. So kick back and think, I have it better than Will Smith. Even though he's a multimillionaire, I have it better than him. You know who we don't have it better than, though? Unfortunately, Wednesday. I had high hopes for Wednesday season 2. I really did. But apparently the ratings are not living up to it. And I can explain why. the season 2 fails to live up to season 1 success. First of all, it went viral. You weren't going to get that kind of success. And they split up the season in half, where the first Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, dropped all at once. And it's dropping by 50% by its third week. So all the super fans watched it, and there's not a lot of replayability. There's no viral moments. There's nothing shocking or interesting. It's almost become the Catherine Zeta-Jones show, really. In reality, the reason why everybody tuned in is because of the star power of Jenna Ortega and the quality upon which she plays Wednesday. She really does knock it out of the park. But in order to expand the cast, I guess, they have Pugsley has his own storyline, and Catherine Zeta-Jones has a storyline with her mother, and they added Steve Buscemi, and I love Steve Buscemi, but he is miscast for this role. He just is not that good for this. And you have the Misfits, and I don't like any of them. The one that was good, they got rid of because of some sort of thing that happened. There's no clear-cut villain. If there is a villain, because there's a bunch of red herrings in it, they haven't developed the character enough for me to care. Took too long to drop as well. Yeah, they did wait a little bit too long. I know there was a bunch of infighting too, where Jenna Ortega was fighting with people over... She was fighting with the director over like what Wednesday would say or do. They kind of had some interesting concepts, but it just never hit. Because the plot of the first Wednesday is not really that good with this whole weird... there's some weird thing with the people who help to celebrate Thanksgiving. Who are those people? Pilgrims. Yes, there's a whole pilgrim villain who I could care less about. Oh, and God, they also have... I love Luis Guzman. He is a great actor, but having him naked in this show with his boobies hanging out was just... What are we doing, folks? And there's also there's 5 or 6 subplots. And you know who doesn't get a plot? Wednesday. All Wednesday wants is a book. And it's weird because she keeps trying to get this spell book back, but she keeps solving... she's getting closer and closer to solving the crime without the spell book, but she doesn't realize it. And it doesn't make any sense because she's a very talented investigator to the point where she should know that she doesn't need the spell book. It would have been more interesting if they took an angle of that she was addicted to the spell book, not that she needed it to solve the crime. That her casting, doing these psychic things was like a rush for her, some sort of weird addiction that she had, but they just didn't take the right angle. So now it's just Wednesday mugging for the camera, and she has no real plot. She just goes from place to place and is like putting together this mystery, but there's no real interesting interactions with her. Same with they were going to sideline her main girl. That blonde girl, the blonde werewolf girl, I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was not going to come back for season 2, and she took a pay cut or didn't take a pay raise in order to ensure that she could get her character back. Enid's character was not meant to be in there, and it seems like when they were writing the show, they just tacked her back on. So I can see why the ratings are dropping because it's just not as interesting. And there's the other thing that I think got all the teen girls hot and bothered is there was a love triangle, and there is no love triangle in this one. There's a weird Enid love triangle, but nobody wants to see Enid's too sweet. Nobody wants to see her making out with dudes in a love triangle. So the number of people tuning in for the Supernatural series dropped by 50% in the third week. And what's funny is Netflix might cancel this show. They were not going to cancel it, but they could cancel it. If it was a normal show and it wasn't Wednesday, they would cancel it based on these statistics. But the problem is the writing. It has nothing to do with the performance of the actors. They have this amazing intellectual property, but they're not doing anything with it. It's reached 92.5 million Netflix subscribers across the first 3 weeks, significantly less than the season 1. It's like half of season 1's 150 million. Season 1 had the TikTok trend effect. Yeah, there's nothing in this to be interesting. It just doesn't have, and it's a Halloween show and they launched it in the summer. Why would they do that? That's so stupid. It's clearly a Halloween show and they dropped it in the end of summer. What are you doing? 99 million is, yes, just me repeating it over and over again. That's all I do is watch Wednesday over and over again. That's what you do when you live under a bridge. Underneath the bridge, top is sprung a leak. Nirvana, folks. Nirvana! That's right. So, yeah, Wednesday's hurting. Splitting the seasons makes me so uninterested now. I don't know that I agree with that. If they wrap it up real strong, I think people will come back. But what you had when you dropped the whole season, which I hate, by the way, on Netflix, you were able to create these viral moments that really drove the engagement of the show. And right now, unfortunately, she's just not doing anything interesting enough to be viral. She just like mugs for the camera and runs. And I don't need to see Jenna Ortega running because she's a high school kid and she needs to keep them puppies strapped down, even though in reality she's like 22 or something. So, just saying, don't need to see Wednesday sweater puppies. Keep them puppies on a leash, Wednesday. Then, we move on to the crackers. It's the Cracker Barrel. U.S. chain Cracker Barrel scraps new logo after backlash. I think I've only been to Cracker Barrel once in my entire life. Not by choice. So for those of you who love Cracker Barrel, I would assume there's a reason for it. I just don't know. Because it's like a Waffle House. I just can't afford it. It's too pricey. Way too pricey. And Old Country Store, I am a metrosexual. I need to be not at an Old Country Store. U.S. restaurant chain Cracker Barrel scraps new logo after backlash. This could be one of the dumbest. Here's my response to this. Is that if the CEO didn't go on Good Morning America and was like, we have got such a wonderful response from the new logo and the new interiors, nobody would have cared. If she would have just left the logo the same and spruced up all of the locations and just renovated them, no one would have cared. They just would have hopefully steadily, slowly impacted sales. But she had to go bragging everywhere, showing off everything, and people don't like change, especially in today's environment where they're attempting to, any change looks like you're trying to be woke or whatever. And we thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain. I think their logo had been around for 47 years. And it's not even about woke. It's just about the fact that the logo was boring. You get this logo that just means nothing to anyone. It just says Cracker Barrel. Like, Cracker Barrel's logo is weird and unique because there's this weirdo sitting, leaning against a barrel. When was the last time you ever saw a barrel in use? Do you even know what you'll use a barrel for? Have you ever seen a barrel full of crackers? I haven't. I don't know what you put in a barrel. As far as I know, maybe you put whiskey in a barrel. Maybe some wine or something. I don't know. What do you do with a barrel? Who makes barrels? I'm sure there are people who are barrel makers. In fact, that probably used to be a very important job back in the day. But seriously, when was the last time, other than a Cracker Barrel, have you ever even seen a barrel? Right? So it's like this weird old-timey thing. And people, oh, it's a Cooper. A barrel maker is a Cooper. I knew there was a weird term for it. That was like a specialty. Those people used to get paid a lot of money. In fact, I feel like we should start, if you want to make a lot of money, God, start making barrels again. Good luck. I doubt you could figure it out. It's like some crazy skill. How do you make wood into a circle? And then a weird wide circle? We need to go back a little bit. I use them all the time. Yes, I use my barrels. I fill them up with things I could burn, like garbage and trash, so that I could stay warm during the night. Who wouldn't do that? You kidding me? Oh, yeah, those are like barrels. Where else do you store your oil? All right, Doc. Fair enough. Doc gets applause for that. You got me. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. Well, technically Doc got him, but yes, where do you store all your Diddy oil? You store it in a barrel at Cracker Barrel. So, yeah. And then for our last news story, we're going to talk a little bit about Cobra Kai. I like Cobra Kai, and they're going to tackle something that is unrecreatable. They're going to make a Knight Rider movie. That is not humanly possible. How can you do... This is the year 2025. How could you make a cool, handsome man and his cool talking car? How do you do a show about that? Where do you find a David Hasselhoff on this earth? Are you going to take Pete Davidson and give him a Tesla? You're going to give him a Cybertruck and let him talk to his Cybertruck? That's what you're going to do? There's no way on earth. There's not a man on earth as cool as Hasselhoff, who has the worldwide celebrity, who starred in Baywatch, who starred as Michael Knight in Knight Rider. It's just not humanly possible. There isn't a man on earth who is as cool and could pull off Michael Knight. Maybe, just maybe, somebody like Michael B. Jordan could do it. I can't think of is there a white guy right now who's as cool as David Hasselhoff? Who's as cool with the Germans as him? The man is literally a god amongst Germans. Is he even still alive? I think he is. Anyway, this aired on... It's amazing how old shows only went for 4 years. It aired on NBC from 1982 to 1986 from prolific TV producer Glenn A. Larson. Ridiculously high concept, hunky lead, and a memorable synth theme. David Hasselhoff starred as Michael Knight. He wasn't the original Michael Knight. I don't know if any of you knew this. And I don't know how I know this, because I've only seen the show a handful of times. Like, I'm not some sort of Knight Rider junkie or whatever. But in the very first episode, I'm pretty sure Michael Knight dies. And David Hasselhoff, not David Hasselhoff, but the character, Michael Knight, takes his face and does like a face-off thing where he like replaces the dude's face with his face or some nonsense and assumes the identity of Michael Knight because they had a different guy playing the original Michael Knight. He's a agent for FLAG, the Foundation for Law and Government, and he partnered with KIT, who is a modified, artificially intelligent, we have that nowadays, indestructible Trans Am. And together, the two sped head-on to fight criminals who operated above the law. Above the law. I don't know, man. I know they did a great job with Cobra Kai, but that's because they like redid they took the premise and flipped it on its head. They took the original Karate Kid premise and took it from a different angle, where you're looking at it from the villain of the first movie. Well, from his perspective, he was the hero, and the Karate Kid was the villain. How do you do? What are you going to take it from the car's perspective? It doesn't make... I don't see an interesting angle, and maybe I'm just not creative enough. Do you remember, Doc? I believe there was a Hulk Hogan show about a speedboat that was basically a Knight Rider ripoff. Let's see if I can look this up. This is a tough one, and I can't see anything. Doc, I desperately need your skills. Hold on. Knight Rider, Hulk Hogan, car? No, boat. There was a boat. And it was based in Florida. Was the boat AI? Thunder in Paradise. Yes. Hold on, I gotta show you people this. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Oh my god, I could do a whole video. I don't even know that I saw it. But it was called Thunder in Paradise. It's pretty, in fact, I think The Simpsons did a spoof on it. Hold on, let me show you guys this. Thunder in Paradise, come on. Doc's gotta remember this. There you go, Doc. You that's some good research. Hold on, did I share the right page? Share this. Thunder in Paradise. Earth Paradise. Hulk Hogan does Indiana Jones on the beach. No, he does Knight Rider on the beach. Oh my gosh, he has a pirate patch? That's not even humanly possible. I have to watch this show. This is too much. Hulk Hogan. What in the world was this show? There's some bikini babes in it. Oh my gosh. I think The Simpsons made fun of it too. But there was a bunch of weird shows like that. Renegade, Thunder in Paradise. Amazing. Hulk Hogan. Crazy. Hold on. I'm going to show you two former Navy SEALs work as mercenaries with a high-tech boat. Thunder in Paradise. 22 episodes of this craziness. Who would have thought? If you had told me at the beginning of the show that on any world I would have been talking about Hulk Hogan's Thunder in Paradise, never in a million years would I have connected the dots to that. It just never would have happened. It's outrageous. 22 episodes in 1994, one season. It deserved 10 seasons, Doc. It was Hulk Hogan. Are you kidding me? I'm stunned that this didn't get more publicity. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Who would you like to have star in the new Knight Rider? Who would be the best for it? Danny, who's that guy? Not Danny Glover, but there's some sort of rapper I'm thinking of. Childish Gamboni. Hasn't been famous for a couple of years. Childish He had that one good song. And he's like the Childish Gambino. What the hell is his name? Donald Glover. That might be cool. Can we bring Hulk Hogan back from the dead and have him star in the Knight Rider reboot? Can we do that? I'd be willing to use AI for that. For sure. Anyway, I think it's time to get outrageous. The story's for Ron. Story is for Ron. And the rest of us space nuts. Let's move on. This is kind of outrageous. Because we're about to be clapping them cheeks, friends. You, I, your mom, your cousin, your auntie. You know, we're going to be clapping alien cheeks. Because there's a mysterious object approaching Earth. And it may be an alien artifact. I will believe it when I see it. Because these scientists, there was some sort of weird thing that traveled through our solar system. It was like Umagumi or Ouroboros or something weird that they had named. And they were like, oh, this seems like it's a weird object. There's an alien mothership. And when it came through the solar system, it was nothing. It traveled through and left. Did absolutely nothing for us. So I'm tired of them telling, they're gonna sell me a bill of goods that's not real. I am gonna stop believing them. Mundane, wayward space snowball or extraterrestrial visitor. Astronomers believe that our solar system's latest and only third ever confirmed interstellar visitor, 31/Atlas, is almost certainly a comet. It's perhaps even an alien mothership or an extraterrestrial artifact. I don't believe any of this. It's all nonsense. Bunch of liars. Liars. There's a 40% chance for an accident while crossing the street. Argues in favor of keeping our eyes open and monitoring the approaching car. He's comparing it to a car because he thinks it's going to hit us. Like, I don't understand. Oh, that's the other object was called Umamua. Umamua? Sure. Whatever. It was actually an alien probe. May have actually been an alien probe. You have zero proof of that. That's like me going to the beach and seeing like a dolphin at the beach and being like, that thing's gonna eat me. It's gonna jump out of the sea and eat me. It's not a great example, but what about seeing a horseshoe crab and being like, yeah, that's an alien, bro. It just intercepted me, and she's like, you're just grasping at straws. You don't even know what you're talking about. I don't believe, how can I believe scientists when they make this nonsense? Alien probe that didn't do anything. They named it after the telescope in Chile where they first spotted it. And it's the third detection ever of any such objects. What the heck is Halley's Comet then? That's nothing? Or is that part of our solar system? I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but yeah, it's just some weird comet. What about all the, you're telling me that all the asteroids and things, well, I guess asteroids technically orbit in between Mars and Jupiter. But still, I don't believe it. The puzzling wrinkle, why did they say it has a, they said it has a highly unusual trajectory. Okay. What about, they said it might be nuclear powered. Recognizing that this object is not a rock, but a technologically manufactured car requires knowledge that SpaceX launched such a car. Without that knowledge, as would be the case in an interstellar probe, this car would have been never been cataloged, even today, as a rocky asteroid. So just because SpaceX launched a car means that it's possible? That's amazing. I don't really know what to... when is this thing coming for us? It just says it has a strange trajectory. They said the previous two objects were on totally random angles. But this one, they're like, it's got a very different angle. I don't know if it... Why would it make itself so obvious if it was coming? I don't think we even get to see it. I think it just came into our solar system and they're just like, oh, look at this. It's a thing coming in. That might not do nothing. When I start hearing that it's not Armageddon, but it's, you know, what the heck was that movie that came out with Armageddon? That had, see, this is what I need Noob for obscure movies that he won't remember. You know, Armageddon, never want to close my eyes. When we sent Aerosmith to space. Yeah, that's a movie. Deep Impact, right? And then what happened to Deep Impact? They were, what's the plot? She's like tracking something and she goes, and Ellie, she thinks that the Secretary of State or somebody's cheating on the president or something, and it's because it's Ellie, but it's really an extinction level event. And yes, Ron, aliens are already here. Why would they need to send a probe if they've already been probing us? I've been to Area 51. I've met hybrid. Somebody actually, did I talk about this? Somebody actually commented that I met a hybrid, not an actual alien, in Rachel, Nevada. It was like Men in Black. If you've ever seen the first Men in Black, because that movie was created to prepare us for it, right? And not the Will Smith part. I'm talking about the Tony Shalhoub part, where there's like an alien inside of him, or he's an alien pretending to be a human. I met a woman that, with 100% certainty, was, in fact, an alien hiding inside of a human body or whatever. It happened, folks. It was bizarre, but it happened. The next bit in outrageousness. And it's, you know, the Netherlands, it's a good place. It's a good place to raise families. But you know where's not a good place to raise families? Denmark. Because you know what happens when you go to Denmark? You raise a family, you have a daughter, and yeah, Denmark is completely different from the Netherlands, which is always confusing to me. But if you raise a daughter in Denmark and you give her a pony, there's a really good chance that her mom will donate that pony right to the zoo so it can get eaten by lions. Pernille Sophie reportedly gifted her teenage daughter, Angelina's German riding pony, Chicago 57. They named their pony Chicago 57. I mean, there's a lot of crime in Chicago, but I never heard about lions eating people there. But she donated to the Aalborg Zoo in the country's northern region. Zookeepers have said they're hoping to mimic the natural food chain of predators by feeding them smaller donated pets. It might sound very dramatic and bizarre. This girl loved this pony, and you are feeding it to a lion? You don't even have the dignity. Where's PETA? You don't even have the dignity to have this woman put the animal down first. You have to let them hunt the thing. They're feeding them guinea pigs, rabbits, chickens. They're gently euthanized before being used. But this horse, this pony, they're just gonna straight up feed it to him. Horses will be accepted, euthanized, and slaughtered by the zoo. Dude, if you are a zookeeper, like, what makes a lion better than a pony? Why are you euthanizing a pony over a lion? Like, why is that better? I don't understand. Somebody needs to explain that to me. Please explain it in the comments below. She's claiming that it was euthanized due to pain from a long-term health struggle. Yes, that pony had long-term health struggles. It suffered from the coof. Chicago 57 was suffering from a long form of eczema brought about by mosquito bites that became irritated during the summer. Wow, it got bit by mosquitoes, and next thing they're like, let's just feed this thing to a lion. They claim it was towards the end of its life at 22 years old, but oh my gosh. Angelina was just 13 at the time of her beloved pony's death. Oh my god. This is outrageous. This is a picture of the pony? No, it's not. That is not Chicago 57. Wow. Apparently, the Aalborg Zoo houses 3 carnivorous and dangerous species: Asiatic lions, polar bears, and the Sumatra tiger. Bro, don't let a tiger out anywhere. Tigers will kill like 400 people if you let them go. They just do their own things. I know a few humans we could send them. Can we feed Noob Noob to the lions? I should put up a poll and see if we could just donate him. We know he's friends with a Netherlandish man, but what if? I mean, he is in the Bermuda Triangle. What if he gets teleported all the way to Denmark and they think he's a Sasquatch? And then they decide, well, we have a Sasquatch here. We might as well as donate it to feed the lions, right? Might as well. So perhaps that's what we should do. We'll put up a poll next time he's on, if he survives, whether or not we should just donate him to the zoo. We could donate him for science just to study anyway. I think those are all great ideas. That's what this channel's all about, great ideas. So anyway, are you in or are you out? I'm definitely in. It's weird. It didn't even have a trailer. It was really just... It was a season 2 plot teaser, I guess, because they've just started production on Blue Eye Samurai. So I suppose we won't see this for about a year. And but they gave us like a teaser, and then they talk a lot about it. They confirmed on August 22nd, 2025 that Blue Eye Samurai Season 2 is officially in production. It won a ton of awards, so people are into it. I really, really, really like this. Especially when you had that dude wear a mask where he had a girl wear a mask where he could just slide that mask right up in his beehole. That was hot. There's lots of reasons to be into this show. Especially if you're a freak or a perv. So anyway, I like it. I like the first one. She's going to go to London. She, they, them, whatever. It's a weird show. It's kind of that classic trope of a chick pretending to be a dude. But at least in this, she's not a Mary Sue. She definitely had to train for years and years and years. And they, in fact, show, how could she fight men at all? And usually it's about her using her intellect to beat them. And on top of that, when she walks around as a normal person trying to pretend to be a man, she wears weights everywhere she goes so that she is constantly training her muscles to be, as strong as a man. And even when she fights stronger men, she doesn't always win. She does lose quite a bit in the show, and she takes quite a bit of damage. So I can respect the show. In fact, one of the episodes, if you've ever seen one of those, I don't know what it is. It's like a Japanese shadow puppet show where they have like puppets and things like that, where they describe her origin story is worth the price of admission. It's amazing. You think you have one, they kind of twist your expectations around on this one. And they show like the spirit of an Oni, and it's just great. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Even though some people might think it's woke, it's definitely worth a watch. It's not what you think it is, and it's better than it should be. So, I'm in. Check it out. You're going to like it. You're going to enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I think you will too. I guess that means I can move on to the reviews. I love reviewing. But do I? I know this was a light week. We didn't get to review a lot of stuff. And part of it is we're kind of in the middle of things. And I've done a couple videos on this, and I'm debating doing a Peacemaker video because I am so tired of the multiverse and Peacemaker. You would think James Gunn would know better. Marvel's downfall really has to do with the multiverse, because the multiverse demonstrates that there are no stakes in anything. And that's almost exactly what's happening in Peacemaker. There are no stakes when there are millions of copies of yourself. Like, what's the point of this? So we have also Alien Earth, which I'm watching, and I'm getting to the point of hate watching because it's one of the dumbest shows I've ever seen on television. It's so insanely stupid. It's kind of driving me a little insane. I just don't know what happened. When did people get so stupid when it came to writing? It's almost like the same thing with South Park. I've been watching South Park, and now South Park is dragging out each of its episodes to 2 weeks because I guess they need more time to create the show, because what they were doing in the past was shooting it out in a week, but now the ratings are falling off a cliff because all they do is make fun of Orange Man Rad. And while some people were amused the first couple times, when they didn't get the outrage that they were expecting, people just don't care because it's like, we want escapism, friends. We don't need any more politics. Nobody cares. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want you crying. I don't need you screaming. I just don't care. Go away. Let me watch something in peace. So speaking of which, I watched Stans on Paramount Plus, or at least most of Stans. And I don't know what to tell you about this show. It's 87% on the audience side, or no, on the critic side, with 15 reviews and 100 verified reviews from the audience side at 94%. This description is insanely too long. It's a book. It's really an interview with Eminem with a bunch of his super fans. And I just don't care about Eminem anymore. And I have a very specific reason for that. While many years ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, Eminem's pretty cool. Like, his old stuff's pretty cool. I dig it. I get where people come from. But look at this picture, and even look at him in Happy Gilmore 2. He wears so much makeup at this point, I just don't get it. In my short review, I said he is very good at using his mouth. And a man that... You just can't trust a man that wears that much makeup. You just can't. It's bizarre. He's like in his late 40s or in his 40s. And every single time I see him, he's wearing makeup. I like good music. I said his old music is good. Name one of his most recent tracks that were good, Doc. I'll wait. 50? What is 50? You didn't even watch Stans. You can't even complain because you didn't even watch it. Did you watch Stans? Be truthful. Here's my point, is if you really like Eminem, you will get an interesting take on it. But I don't like Eminem everything. You can't even name his most recent single. The most recent one I remember anyone caring about was Godzilla. That's all I'm saying. And, I mean, if you like men that wear makeup, that's okay with me. You're allowed to like his old music. His old music is great. Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, all that stuff, fantastic. But the dude went woke. He got paid by the Kamala Harris campaign to say positive things about her. If you accept money from a politician, you are a fraud. I don't care if you took it from Trump. I don't care if you took it from Kamala Harris. I don't care if you took it from the communists. Don't take money from any campaign if you're an artist. The man's a multi-millionaire. And so Doc won't admit that he didn't watch Stan. So he's not a Stan. Houdini sucks, by the way. Houdini is a terrible, terrible remake of Black Magic Woman. No. You can't redo that song. That's terrible. That's awful. It's terrible. That's such a bad sample. It's ridiculous. It's so lazy and so bad. I'm embarrassed for him to make it. So my point being that a very, very talented artist who has lost his way because he wears makeup, and he has went soliciting for politicians when he's a multi-millionaire. You need another $1 million to it. I think he got paid a couple $100,000 to endorse Kamala Harris. Who cares? Why would you take the money? That's blood money from any political party. It's like Rage Against the Machine. When you're raging, you're not raging against the machine. You're raging for the machine. So stupid. I'm paying attention to Black Flag recently. And if you know anything about them, it's all about anti-establishment. It doesn't matter who's in the establishment. You fight against everyone because government is bad. Nobody likes government. And I just felt like the only part of the documentary that I really thought was good was that he lost his best friend. Like, the man who helped him, who was his biggest supporter, got murdered. And they didn't really cover it as closely as they should have. And I would have been very interested in hearing a little bit more about his life and what happened to him. Because I would have liked to see a friend who got murdered. I need to shout this guy out because I thought he was really cool. Proof, the rapper, Proof. I thought that was the most interesting story because Eminem's like, well, I got beat up when I was a kid. But when he was going and he was battle rapping and he was kind of crafting his everything, the man behind him that was really helping him go through this, and I would assume it's the guy that he would bounce ideas off of and he would practice against and work with, was Proof. And they just didn't do enough with Proof. And hey, watch the series, Doc, and tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't care enough about Marshall Mathers to watch an hour and 42 minutes of Marshall Mathers. You know what I mean? I get it. If you're an Eminem fan, you're going to probably really, really like this. But I just felt it was self-indulgent. And he wears makeup, and it freaks me out. So stop wearing makeup, dude. Next thing you know, he's going to get his lips plumped, and he's going to get a nose job. And I don't like that either. So don't do it. So next, what do we have? Eddie Murphy and Beehole Eyes. This was an hour 34 that felt like 2.5 hours of my life was stolen. It's on Amazon. 24% by the critics, 36% by the fans. In the action comedy The Pickup, a routine cash pickup takes a wild turn when two mismatched armored truck drivers, Russell, Eddie Murphy, and Travis, Pete Davidson, are ambushed by ruthless criminals led by a savvy mastermind, Zoe, Keke Palmer, with plans that go way beyond the cash cargo. As chaos unfolds around them, the unlikely duo must navigate high-risk danger, clashing personalities, and the one very bad day that keeps getting worse. So basically, they're both armored truck carrier drivers, and they get no, I don't like Kiss. Kiss sucks. Kiss is for babies. Kiss is like one of the worst bands that's ever existed, by the way. Anyway, this was absolutely terrible. Critic consensus: with Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson's comedic chemistry fatally unbalanced, it's left to a game Keke Palmer and Eva Longoria to pick up the slack as the pickup puts down too little. Eddie Murphy was terrible. Pete Davidson's terrible. Keke Palmer is good. Eva Longoria looks like she hit the wall and then drove through the wall and then backed over it and hit the wall again. Like, she don't look so good in this. She didn't even look like Eva Longoria. Eddie Murphy, I don't know what happened. He's not even trying to be funny. And Pete Davidson's so unfunny. It's just weird because they make the point of showing him shirtless without his tattoos. And I'm like, put the tattoos back on, dude. At least you looked interesting. Do you remember that song by Kanye West, Easy? Used to be easy. Where he murders Pete Davidson and plants his head in the ground and grows a garden off of his head. I like that Pete Davidson. I like it when he was dating Kim Kardashian and trying to knock her up. And now he's like, I'm wholesome. I have no tattoos. And I knocked up my girlfriend who I'm going to marry. I liked you better when you were banging a hoe and you were beefing with Kanye West. You were a better man back then, Pete Davidson. And now this is the bottom of the barrel Amazon type movie. It's weird because there was one with John Cena and Idris Elba that was actually pretty good. And this just fell on its face. Just a dumb heist movie. Yeah, I know. I said he got his tattoos removed. And they deliberately had him have a shirtless scene so they could show his lack of tattoos. It was pretty stupid. Let's look at, just for fun, just for giggles, let's look at a couple terrible reviews for this. Can we look at some terrible? Let's look at the audience reviews, because I think those are always the funniest. Dumb, typical Rush storylines. One of the weakest storylines, combined with uninspired performances by what should have been a top cast. Pete Davidson is one horrific actor. Even Eddie Murphy, Eva Longoria, and Keke Palmer couldn't save this movie from Davidson. This is the first time I've seen Davidson's work outside of Saturday Night Live. I will avoid everything he's in moving forward. Oh my God. You know who else is in this? Who's absolutely terrible, who's completely lost all of his anything, which makes me think he was never a good actor to begin with. Andrew Dice Clay is in this, and he sucks so hard, I can't even tell you what he sucks on. Terrible. So bad. He's embarrassingly bad. You would think he'd have some funny insults like, Hey, Pete Davidson, your eyes look like you got 2 buttholes stuffed in your eyes, and your mouth looks like your vagina. Hey, giggity, giggity. You would think he would actually do that, but no, he doesn't even do that. He's just like, you suck. You're terrible at your jobs, you terrible people. So bad. The writing on this movie, this is a review. The writing on this movie is horrible. The plot makes no sense. Of the dumb and illogical things they did throughout the movie made it hard for me to watch. Why not turn around to get out of the dead zone faster than driving forward 80 miles? Stupid movie. What else do people say? Let me give you one more. With all that star power in the cast, you would think that they would have greenlit a decent script. Netflix continues to churn out any old thing. The plot is not far-fetched, but the storyline is nonsense. 96 minutes I can never get back. That's how I kind of felt. Netflix didn't make this. This was an Amazon movie, dummy. It's bad. 100% I do not recommend this. You should not watch this. No one should watch this. This is an abomination to the screen. So that's what we got. I have no idea what I'm watching next week. I'm watching a bunch of shows, so I'm trying to keep everything up. I got Peacemaker going on. I've got Alien Earth. We've got South Park we're still doing. And whatever else pops up, I'll keep an eye out. I would... I don't know. The movie season looks a little late in the loafers. But we're going to continue to bring it to you. We're going to bring you all the fun, all the good stuff. With any luck, Noob won't be back. And we'll just keep rocking and rolling, baby. 2 million views! Thanks to yous! All of you out there. You guys, I love all y'all. I love you so much. You make me so happy. Anyway, looks like we've wrapped this one up. I hope everybody has an amazing Labor Day. Put it in the comments. Hype up the videos. We love all y'all. But I'm on to the next one.
Thanks for catching the video. Be sure to join our channel to get the education you deserve. Make sure you check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.